What's up, guys? It's Tim, and I'm going to show you how to EV bet for dummies and how to use tools like DGF Fantasy's Fantasy Optimizer to ensure a long-term profit and ROI. Here are my results for over the last year, and I've been using obviously DGF Fantasy's their DFS Optimizer. But before that, I've been betting for 2 years now. It's not something I've been doing like a lot, but I just do it to like, pay rent and all that stuff. So, and there's like a common misconception that like you need to be like good at math or like whatever. Like guys, like I barely pass pre-calc. I'm as dumb as they get and I can still be profitable. So, uh yeah, let's get straight into it. So first of all, we're going to like what is expected value. So expected value or EV betting, it's a mathematical concept that measures like long-term profitability of a bet. So you typically want to go, or not typically, you do want to go for positive EV bets because they are expected to profit over many repetitions, while negative EV bets are expected to lose over many repetitions. And the calculation for EV bet is just probability, if you even care, probability of winning times your payout minus probability of losing times your risk. And your main goal should be to consistently identify and place plus EV bets for long-term profitability. And the reason why people are so like like they lose so much money, like 95% like the people selling their picks on Twitter, like they're probably unprofitable, right? Because casual bettors, they rely on gut feeling or like last 5 or 10. Like if you guys really think about it, like why would Prize Picks like a site like Prize Picks make it so accessible to see like the last 5 or 10 results? They're a company that wants to make as much profit as possible. So if those stats really helped you, why would they make it so accessible, right? So sportsbooks like actually expect this because they already baked all that data into odds. Like any data, any public data, like they have, right? Like they're billion-dollar companies with like these extremely advanced models. So if it's obvious to you, it's probably obvious to them too. And like betting this way means you're most likely taking the worst side of the line. Like to win long term, you need to find value and not just what feels right. So the tool I use is DFS Optimizer. It's just basically an advanced analytics tool that identifies valuable discrepancies between DFS lines and sportsbooks odds, and it analyzes tons of data points like hourly to find EV plays that can maximize your DFS opportunities, and it also just integrates seamlessly with like it has a ton of books like PrizePicks, Underdog, Sleeper, Fliff, Rebet, Novig, ProfitX, like basically all the main DFS sites, betting exchanges. And yeah, it just basically provides clear, precise EV percentages for each recommended pick, helping you prioritize the most profitable plays. And then it helps you allow to make more informed decisions and improve your DFS performance. And then let's go into implied odds for a site like Underdog because I think they have pretty standard payouts. I think Underdog and now PrizePicks are on the same payout system and mostly like dabble too. I think the only one that's different is DraftKings Pick Sixes because it's peer to peer and their payouts are variable, I think, but we can get into that later. So how Underdog works is that it's a fixed payout system, so you can either flex or power your plays, which basically means for a power play, like you have to get, say you put a three pick entry, you have to get all three of those right. But if you flex it, you can get two of those right and still make a profit, but granted it's a little less. And if you hit all three on a flex play, you'll make less profit than on a power play, obviously, right? So in Underdog, obviously in this picture right here, you can see if you go 2 for 2, this is all power plays, by the way. You had 3x, 3 for 3, 6x. You guys can read that, right? But since it's fixed payout, there are implied odds behind the payouts. So a two for two is a 3x, so that's an implied. So if you go on a sports book, that's basically saying you put two minus 136 plays, right? And that's a 57.7% chance of hitting. So this is why it's really important to understand what the best plays are. So basically for all the standard payout sites like Dabble, PrizePicks, Underdog, you're gonna be want to play three three leg powers or 5 and 6 leg flexes. I won't go into math, but there's like a lot of people that already went the math, that already gone, that have done the math, and came to came to the conclusion that these are the most profitable plays because we'll first start with the what's it called, a 3 leg play, right? That's a 6x, so that's minus 122 odds implied. So what does that mean? So when you're finding plays, I'll go into this later. When you're finding plays on any tool, to be honest, like you can use the DFS optimizer or OddsJam or like whatever you want to use. You're gonna want to find plays after you remove the vig that are better than minus 122 or a 54.9% chance of hitting, right? Because if you choose plays that are like minus 110 implied, then like what are you doing? You know, like yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward. You want to find plays that are just better than minus 122 to become profitable over the long term. That's what uh, EV betting basically is. You're just trying to find better plays. You're trying to find better odds than the implied odds that underdog's giving you, right? And then going into what's it called, DGF. I mean, it's basically like the same thing. Like yeah, real time updates, prop comparison engine, instant EV calculation. So they actually have like I'll show you guys later, like a column that shows you the average odds, and they devig the odds for you. So you really like guys like this takes like 5 minutes, you know, like to make a play. Like you really don't have to do a lot of work. And then yeah, like the optimizer like identifies spots where DFS platforms apply probability is lower than the true probability determined by sportsbook odds, which creates exploitable edges. So that's basically EV betting. You're trying to exploit market inefficiencies by either line shopping or just finding like true probability that's better than the implied probability that underdog is giving you. And then yeah, just another slide about just maximizing your edge. So consistent volume is key. Placing more EV plays like helps reduce variance and smooths out results over time. But on the flip side, you don't want to be forcing parlays. So I was pretty unprofitable my first year of betting because I probably did the same thing you guys did. Like I was just going on gut feeling, but I was also placing like, oh my god, like not that placing 20 parlays is good or like is bad, but placing 20 bad parlays is extremely like it's, you know, like you never want to. If the value is not there, the value is not there. You know, if you have 4 legs and you're trying to find a fifth, like never force the fifth. You know, just remove one a leg and just make it a 3 leg. You know, and then bankroll management is crucial. So only risking 1 to 2% of your total bankroll, which allows you to weather like the inevitable swings. Which basically means like you guys see on Twitter like, oh Mega Max Nuke is like 25%. I was like what are we doing, bro? You know, so don't let anyone tell you what your bankroll is. Like you determine that by how much you want to lose, and then so like a unit is just 1% of your bankroll basically. So you just calculate that by yourself, and then yeah, and then stay alert to breaking news like injury or line changes. But that's basically priced in the odds already. So we're just gonna go over uh, the tool real quick. So how this tool works is it's basically an odds screener that gives you all the good plays already, and you just have to determine whether you want to put it in your slip or not. So how I use this tool is I always try to choose 3 data points because the more data points you have, obviously the better, so you can cross-reference them, cross-reference books. I always do pre-match because live betting, the best thing about sports betting is that it's extremely time efficient, and live betting, or in my experience, you have to be looking at the optimizer for like an hour or two to be profitable. Like I was pretty profitable live betting, but it just took too much time. So I'll do pre-match, and then I will never bet on esports. I just haven't found, like you guys can, but I just haven't found the best luck on like League of Legends, CS2, Dota. Um, and then yeah, so here are it's pretty standard filters. So and it obviously show discrepancies because line shopping is literally EV betting. So we have actually a ton of value right now. Um, you guys have probably already watched videos on like saying, "Oh, you should just take the first 5 plays," but honestly, like you guys need to think for yourselves. Um, like the optimizer will give the plays for you, but you just gotta like think for yourselves, you know. So this column right here is the average odds devig. So your first place, Sabrina Ionescu, under 10 half rebounds assists. So we have FanDuel, Caesars, and Hot Streak placing around 136 minus 135 minus 145. And then you see here prize picks is at 10. So prize picks, fuck, I'm editing that shit out. Or not. Prize picks is what's it called? Actually thinks she's gonna go under, so they bumped their line to 10. So that's insanely good, a good metric to like. You always want to be looking at other DFS sites as with sports books. So we see PrizePicks actually has its price at 10. So I think a no brainer would be taking this first play right here, Sabrina Ionescu under 10 and a half. And then I try to target plays that have average odds of 130 or less, minus 130 or less, to give me just the most profitable plays. That's just in my experience of what's it called of how I became profitable. And then second play here, I guess you can take it. Eric Atkins under 1.5 3 pointers made. You have 4 books saying, oh, like minus 135, minus 145, but you have FanDuel a little softer saying minus 125. So I usually would take this play because it is just FanDuel versus you have 4 other books saying we have a price of minus 135 to minus 145. But if there's better plays on the board, I'll probably take this Seth Lugo play actually. Insane. Over 5.5 strikeouts, minus 134. Like you see all these books, like it's above 130, you know? Um, yeah. And then yeah, that's basically it. With Fliff, you're gonna see all these plays. Like what I just told you with underdog prize picks, like Dabble, it's basically the same thing with Fliff. However, you're gonna see all these plays like with 92% hit rate. Like, guys, if you're spending money on minus 10,000 odds, like, what are we doing? You know. So I do minimum odds, minus 175, and maximum like around 150, just to give me the best plays. There really isn't anything right now. I guess you could take this play, but it's like whatever, you know. And then I want to go into my last point, which is DGF Fantasy's Fantasy Optimizer, which is insanely good because like you don't really need to do work. Like all you do is click generate, and then you can literally click this, and then it will give you all. It will basically do this, but there's just no emotion in picking the plays, and it'll just pick out the best plays for you. You know, and you literally just click bet on Prize Picks. It'll give you your profit margin, a correlation score, which I found to be pretty funky. It's always 17.51, but it's like whatever. But you can literally just place this on prize picks. And then here are my filters. I don't use better. I also, yeah, I told you I don't bet on esports. And then I have every game. And then yeah, like rebet prop city will literally give you it'll just spit out slips for you, so you don't even, this is like even less work. And I think they're running a sale. um yeah, they're running a sale flat. If you use code flash 99 checkout, you get 200 off per month for life, which is insane. It's like 100 bucks, 100 bucks, that's, what is that, like $3 a day. Pretty insane. But yeah, if you guys had any other questions, let me know. You can put in the comments or whatever. I'll try to link my Twitter. You can DM me on Twitter. My picket is public, so you can always check my bets there. And then if you guys want to use DGF Fantasies, their DFS Optimizer, you guys can use code Timbits for 25% off your first month, and it also helps support me. Um, yeah, but that's basically it for the video. Thanks for sticking by, and hopefully you learned something new. Peace out.